So virtualization is quite simple. It's just running one operating system on top of another operating system. So there's actually quite a few different types of virtualization out there. The one that you're most likely to see is the one on the bottom there, which is application level virtualization. That basically means you run your operating system as normal, whether that's Windows, Ubuntu, Mac OS, whatever, and then you run an application inside that operating system, which then allows you to virtualize what's called a guest operating system. So you've got two different operating systems that you're talking about when you're talking about virtualization. You've got the host operating system, which is the operating system that you're running the virtualization software on, and then you've got your guest operating system, which is the one that you're emulating running inside the little virtualized box. So application level is what you'll see normally, so things like Parallels in the Mac, VMware Fusion, I think the desktop version is, VirtualBox as well, which we'll be talking about in a minute. Those are all application level things. So that means basically you run it on your OS of choice, just normally, as I'm doing, and then you can run whatever hell you like in addition to that. Now there's two other more sort of complicated versions of that. There is operating system level virtualization, which is zones, where the virtualization is really tightly integrated into the operating system, allowing you to do quite a lot more in some ways, but quite a bit less in other ways. For example, at auth level virtualization, it's pretty unlikely you're going to be emulating other guest operating systems. It's going to be more instances of the same operating system. I'll talk a bit more about that later. The one kind of virtualization I'm not going to talk about today is machine level virtualization. And that's where you've got a specialised virtualization operating system that you install on your computer running on the bare metal, VMware or Zen or something like that. And then that is responsible for running the guest operating systems. Now that's obviously got a performance benefit because it's got an OS that's tailored for doing this kind of thing, running on the bare metal, and you don't have the overheads of running a normal operating system on top of that. That kind of thing you're more likely to see, in enterprise, in the workplace. So I'm not going to talk about it much today because it's not the sort of thing you're likely to be using. So as I said, VirtualBox is application level, and it's supported on and supports all major OSs with one notable exception, which I'll mention later. And then I'll be talking about zones, which was the sort of the original topic, but I've kind of squeezed VirtualBox in there, seeing as it makes sense to have it in there as well. And that's OS level virtualization with zones, so that's tightly integrated into the Open Solaris, so you'll not see zones elsewhere.